Hello, my cutie pies. My name is Daphne, and today I won't be your storyteller. Today, I'd love to share with you a reflection that I wrote after finishing The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. I really want to know what you think about this book and about this story, and if you have something to add or you don't agree with something that I say during this video, feel free to let me know it with a comment. Just remember always to be kind. Don't forget to subscribe if you don't want to miss the future videos. Let's start. Since we finished this masterpiece, its world has lingered with me. The scent of lilacs, the hunting beauty of Dorian, and the sharp, poisonous words of one man in particular. Because to understand Dorian's obsession with beauty, we must first listen to the devil on his shoulder, Lord Henry Wotton. Today, I want to invite you to reflect with me on the heart of the novel, its exploration of beauty, vanity, and the heavy price of eternal youth. Because as we'll see, Dorian Gray's story is not just a Gothic tale from the 19th century. In many ways, it is the story of our own world. Right now. Part 1. The Whisper of Corruption. It all begins in a sunlit garden with an idea as simple as it is devastating. Lord Henry looks at the breathtakingly beautiful Dorian Gray and whispers that youth is the only thing worth having. He says, "There is nothing in the world but youth." This is not just a compliment, it is a philosophical bomb. With these words, Lord Henry is deliberately reprogramming Dorian's perception of life, shifting it from a moral plane to a purely aesthetic one. He isolates a single quality, youthful beauty, and elevates it into a religion. Dorian, who until that moment was pure and unaware, is suddenly forced to see his own beauty not as a part of himself, but as a fleeting treasure he is doomed to lose. Immediately after, Lord Henry offers him a way out, a new philosophy. He presents his new hedonism not as a path to corruption, but as the highest form of self-realization. It is here that he utters one of his most famous lines. The only way to get rid of a temptation is to yield to it. In chapter 2nd, think about how radical this is. He is turning common morality on its head. Indulgence and sin are no longer sources of guilt, but acts of liberation. He argues that it is resisting temptation that makes the soul sick with longing. With this single elegant paradox, he dismantles Dorian's moral compass and provides him with the intellectual license to pursue every whim, justifying it all as a quest for experience. Terrified by the new awareness that his beauty will fade, and armed with a philosophy that celebrates selfishness, Dorian makes his wish that his portrait might age and bear the marks of his sin, while he remains forever young. And so the pact is sealed, but it was Lord Henry's voice that wrote the contract. I wanted to focus on Lord Henry Wotton because once I finished the book, the question in my head was, does this make Lord Henry a villain? In my opinion, yes. He is always charming, witty, and perfectly composed. As Basil points out, you never say a moral thing and you never do a wrong thing. He remains detached, an armchair philosopher who never gets his own hands dirty. He is the snake in the garden, whispering temptation and then stepping back to watch the fall. He is not a villain of action. He is a villain of influence. And do you want to know what strengthens my thesis? That he's aware of what he's doing. He is not just aware of his influence, he is deliberate and takes immense pleasure in it. He consciously sees Dorian as an experiment, but he is utterly indifferent to the human consequences. He teaches Dorian to see life as a spectacle, to treat his own sins as mere aesthetic experiences. He provides the philosophy, and Dorian provides the action. In this dark partnership, Dorian's soul decays, but Lord Henry simply moves on to his next dinner party, his next witty remark, untouched and unchanged. Lord Henry is, in my opinion, a profoundly modern and terrifying kind of antagonist. He is not ignorant of his power. He is simply unburdened by conscience. Part 2. The modern echo of Lord Henry. Lord Henry's influence doesn't stop at conversation. He gives Dorian a gift, a poisonous book with a yellow cover in chapter 10. This novel, which becomes a kind of Bible for Dorian, chronicles the life of a Parisian who dedicated his existence to experiencing every passion, vice, and sensation. The book acts as a mirror, showing him the life he could live, and becomes the blueprint for his own descent. This is the world Dorian inhabits, a world where beauty is the highest form of genius. In the Victorian era, this obsession with appearance was a powerful undercurrent, but for Dorian, it becomes his entire existence. His life turns into a performance of beauty, a flawless mask worn to hide the gradual corruption of his soul. The portrait, hidden away in a locked room, becomes the keeper of his true self, its canvas twisting with every cruel act he commits. Does this story feel familiar? This desperate need to present a perfect, unchanging version of ourselves to the rest of the world. Has Lord Henry's voice truly vanished, or has it simply been amplified 1,000,000 times over? We no longer need a magical painting to freeze our beauty in time. Our profiles and channels have become our modern-day portraits. We apply filters, choose the best angles, and curate galleries of perfect moments. And that poisonous book? It has become our infinite scrolling feed. Every post, every story, every influencer's perfect day acts like a page from Dorian's book, whispering to us, "You could have this life if only you were more beautiful, more interesting." Lord Henry's philosophy has become the background noise of our society. We have all, in a way, become both the anxious Dorian, terrified of showing a flaw, and Lord Henry, the detached observer judging the world through the cold lens of appearance. Part 3. Dorian gets his wish. He stays beautiful, but his life becomes a prison. He is hunted by the monstrous image in the portrait, which serves as a brutal reminder of the empathy, kindness, and truth he has sacrificed on the altar of his appearance. His perfect face is no longer a gift, but a mask that separates him from his own humanity. And what is the price we pay for our modern pact? The constant pressure to perform perfection leads to anxiety, loneliness, and a chronic feeling of inadequacy. We compare our messy real lives to the polished portraits of others, and we forget that vulnerability and imperfections are what make us human. By hiding our true selves, we risk losing them, just as Dorian did. Conclusion. Oscar Wilde's novel is a timeless warning, more relevant now than ever. It teaches us that a life built only on appearance is a hollow one. Lord Henry Wotton may be a fictional character, but his voice, that seductive, cynical whisper that tells us to value beauty above all else, is very real. It echoes in our apps, in our advertisements, and sometimes even in our own thoughts. But this isn't to say that caring about our appearance is wrong. To claim so would be hypocritical. Appreciating beauty, taking care of ourselves, and wanting to present a good image to the world are natural human impulses. Dorian's tragedy asks us to listen carefully to the voices we allow to influence us. He allowed it to become the single focus of his life and his growth, sacrificing his soul, his empathy, and his character for a flawless image. And yet, as we close this book, we shouldn't feel compelled to reject beauty. To do so would be to deny a profound part of the human experience. The world constantly invites us to feel, to be moved by a beautiful sunset, a haunting piece of music, or the elegance of a single line of poetry. Learning to appreciate these sensations, to truly experience the richness of life, is a gift. This is the truth at the heart of the aesthetic movement that Wilde himself championed. Dorian's tragedy, then, was not that he embraced this invitation, but that he allowed it to consume him. He didn't just appreciate beauty, he worshipped it. He became a spectator of his own life, a collector of sensations who forgot that the most beautiful experiences are those enriched by empathy, kindness, and connection. He learned how to feel everything, but he forgot how to care. His story reminds us that a life spent chasing perfection is a life spent in hiding. True beauty is found not in flawlessness, but in the courage to be seen with our wonderfully imperfect, authentic soul. This was my reflection. I really hope you enjoyed this extra video, and don't forget to share with me your opinion about the book and about the topics that I decided to focus on today. Thank you so much for your time, and I love you all.